Hey, it's Tania, and I will share with you the 5 top reasons why you probably look ridiculous in your lashes or why lashes just don't work for you. Now, I am not a lash professional. I consider myself more of a lash enthusiast. I have been doing my own lash extensions at home for the past about 4 to 5 years. Before then, I was getting my lashes professionally done, and then before then, I was wearing strip lashes almost every single day. So I have definitely developed a pretty good understanding on things to look out for and just being able to determine the lash that is going to be most suitable for you. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Number one would be that you do not know your eye shape. Lashes are not a one size fits all, and we all have various different types of eye shapes, and so different lash lengths, densities, and designs are going to either be flattering or not, depending on your individual eye shape. So this is often goes overlooked when picking a lash style that works for you, but this is pretty much the most important tip in this video. Number two is that you're not customizing your lash. This kind of falls into point number one in the sense of like just getting to know your eye shape, because all lashes are not an all size fits all. And what a lot of these lash companies do to kind of maximize the sales out of their products is that they include more lash than one actually needs into the package. So this applies when you're doing strip lashes. This also applies when you're buying like individual lash segments or lash clusters for do-it-yourself extensions. So for that reason, do not try to fit that whole strip or that entire package of lashes onto your eyes. They are intended to be customized according to your specific eye shape. And even more so, I do my own lashes at home. I use like individual like segments, clusters, and they come in like kind of like sectional. They're almost like sectional, like small segments of a lash strip. But even then, I typically find myself cutting those even further in order to be able to do a lash map that fits across my eyes quite perfectly. So it's okay to cut them up. It's okay to customize them according to your eye shape. That's what you are supposed to be doing. Number three is that you're wearing the wrong length. Much like getting to know your own eye shape, you should also kind of have a good idea of how much eyelid space you have. As a general rule of thumb, if you have like an arched brows or your eyebrows sit quite high on your face, then you are able to play around with longer lengths. I have naturally arched brows, and so I like to play around with lengths as high as 20 millimeters because I do enjoy a nice long soft glam type of look. But if I wanted to play it a little bit more natural, I could do anything from like 14 or even 16 if I wanted to do a natural or a longer look. Now, if you have not a lot of eyelid space, meaning your brows sit low, or your brows are maybe like just kind of like a little bit more flat, you want to stick with lengths that are 14 millimeters or lower. So if you want to go super glam, I would suggest not going higher than 14 millimeters. But if you want to be more on the natural side, you can do anything from like 10 millimeters to 12 millimeters without your lash look overpowering your eyes or weighing it down. Number four would be that you're not picking the right lash style for you. You know, like I mentioned before, having a good understanding of what your eye shape is will help you be able to determine a lash that will be flattering for you or that will achieve the look that you are trying to go for. For example, lashes come not only in different densities and lengths, but they also come in different types of curls. You have your more relaxed curl, and then you have very curly lash styles. Now let's say that you have a monolid and you have a hooded lid, and you want to create an eye-opening effect. Your best bet is to go for a super curled or a tighter curled type of lash to really open up your eyes. Generally, a curled lash will translate to a more eye-opening effect for your eyes. Now, if you have really large eyes and maybe you just feel like your eyes are so large and you don't want to play that up anymore or emphasize that any further, then you may want to go for a more relaxed lash to not further open up or awaken the eye. But if you want to awaken your eye even further and more, you can definitely go for a curled lash. Also into that point, let's just say that you have more of a droopy downturn type of eye and you want to lift it up or a little bit in appearance, then what you can do is go for a lash style where the longest length is towards the end. Now, regardless of your eye shape or eye style, if you want a more lifted eye, getting a lash style that, or creating a lash map where the longest length is at the end, is going to help lift your eye. Typically what you could expect from this type of lash style is kind of like a feline cat eye type of look, and where the shortest length is like, you know, starts in the inner corner of your eye and then it gradually gets longer where the longest points are at the end. Me personally, I have more of like a rounded almond eye where the highest point of my eye is right here in the middle, and I like to emphasize or flatter my own natural eye shape. So I like to wear my longest length in the middle to create like a more doll-eyed or fan-like appearance. So I have my shorter lashes on the side of the longest lashes to create that nice eye-opening doll-eyed effect. But I've also tried the cat-eyed feline look to create a more of a lifted eye, and I definitely love the way that looks as well. But as far as every day, I like to go for like a doll-eyed effect. So there are a lot of things that you can do with lash styles depending on, again, what you're going for and what your eye shape is. And what would be most suitable for you. So number 5 is often overlooked, and I see it all the time, but placement is going to have a very significant impact on the overall appearance of your lashes. I know you've seen this just like I have, but I've been places where I've seen someone and they look amazing and they have a beautiful lash on and they're wearing a strip maybe, and like their left eye or their right eye, like one of their eyes has the lashes properly placed. It's perfect. It's creating a very nice, beautiful, awakened, opened eye. But the other lash is not placed correctly. So it's either like kind of like going this way and it's dragging the eye down, or it's cutting off the eye. And so the person kind of looks like one of those dolls where the eyes are going like this. It doesn't matter if you have like the perfect lash style, length, and density. If you do not place your lashes on your eyes correctly, then you're not going to get the look that you are hoping for, and it's actually going to cause more problems for your look than good. So in the previous tip, I mentioned a droop it, downward turn eye, and lifting that up. So if you get that lash style where the lengths of the lash is longest at the end, but you do not place that right on your eye, then it's going to only further draw your eye downwards. It's only going to further emphasize that droopiness. You do not want to place that longest length outwards because it's going to drag it down. What you're going to want to be very careful in doing is making sure that that longest length is facing upward and forward if you have a downward turn droopy eye. Now, for someone who doesn't, for someone who has maybe an almond eye or eyes that kind of sit neutrally on their face, but you want a little bit more of a lift, you can ever so slightly place that lash on the outer corner outward, and even more so get a curled one, and then you can create a nice natural eyeliner eye lifting effect with that type of placement. And then there's other mistakes that people just commonly make, where they may apply it just not wrapping or naturally going along the natural curvature of the eyes. So for instance, a lot of lashes can be a little bit rigid, and if you apply that rigid lash on your eyes, it may cut off the natural shape of your eye. So if you have a rounded almond eye like myself, and your particular lash strip or even lash segments are just kind of more squared, then it's going to cut off some of your eye and create a whole different type of shape. That may be something that you're going for. That may not be something that you're going for. But when you're placing your lash, more specifically if you're using a lash strip, you want to make sure that you're bending it and it's able to really just naturally follow the natural curvature of your eye. For me, I use lash segments because I do my own lash extensions at home. And sometimes, or actually every time, I find myself cutting up some of those segments just so that it can go around my eye shape naturally. Otherwise, I will be cutting off some of my eye shape and it will be creating another look that I'm not trying to achieve. I want to go ahead and emphasize my natural eye shape and not go against it. So those are a few things to keep in mind in terms of placement. Of course, if you do your own lash extensions at home and you place it too close to the waterline, it's going to be uncomfortable. So just bad placement can create a whole entire array of issues that one may not want to have. So yeah, those are the top 5 reasons why a lash strip could go wrong. Do-it-yourself lash extensions can go wrong, because not all lash styles and designs and lengths and densities are made for everyone. And I know we all fallen victim to this, where we see someone with a hairstyle or a hair color or a makeup look or a piece of clothing that looks great on them, but we try it and it does not look good on us at all, because we have all different body shapes and skin undertones and face shapes and etc. And that all plays a huge major role in why something would work for us and it doesn't. And it's the very same thing with lashes as well. So I hope you guys found this video to be extremely helpful. One thing I didn't mention is that you want to, kind of experiment with densities as well. For me, I cannot do a very voluminous heavy lash. That will weigh my eyes down. It's never looked good on me. It's never quite the look I've ever tried to go for, but I've seen very voluminous lashes like very beautiful on other people whose eyes can handle all at the weights. So, just finding the best lashes for you is going to involve a little bit more of experimentation and trial and error before you are able to confidently nail it down each and every time. But again, really getting to know what your eye shape is will make that process so much easier. If you have any tips and tricks that work for you or that you feel like are very important that I left off, feel free to share in the comments below. If you followed my tricks and you've had success with it, I would love to know, because that would make my day. I love helping other people out here unlock some gems in their life. And if you have any other questions that you want me to expand upon on more as it relates to this video, let me know and I will answer it to the best of my abilities. But yes, you guys, until next time, bye.